So, a lot of us out here want to clean up our credit, right? It's very important that you do so. I think it's very vital that you clean up your credit, because when you understand the power of leveraging debt, you can change your family's life. But before actually cleaning up your credit, there are 3 things that I recommend every single person do. So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from skip tracing to collecting to management, and I've owned 2 debt collection agencies. For the past 8 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit, and now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys. I'm growing and growing slowly but surely. I respect it. The way that it is, in fact, happening. I'm almost up to 200 videos, like 192 videos, I think, after today. Nevertheless, great information. I've been getting a lot of great feedback, 99% great feedback, so I know that I'm on the correct track. Once again, thank you, each and every one of you guys. I have so much gratitude for you guys subscribing, asking questions, all the way to everyone who's even signed up for credit repair or paid for any of the digital services that I have down below. Feel free to check them out. Cleaning up your credit, like I stated before, is very important. I think it's something that every single person should do. The fact of the matter of it is that because it's not taught in school, it's not taught, typically people don't really find out about credit or even understand credit till, obviously they've messed up. Experience is the best teacher. I understand that. Unfortunately, a lot of people mess up their credit. And then once their credit is messed up and it comes time to cleaning up that credit, a lot of times is when you sort of kind of understand it. Regardless of however you come to the time of when it's time to clean up your credit, there are 3 things that I think are very, very vital that every single person should do before actually cleaning up your credit. So let's get into it. Number 1 is your finances. You need to figure out your finances. Most Americans, what we do is we have our typical maybe 4 or 5 regular bills that we have to pay, i.e. rent or mortgage, insurance, car payment, cell phones, the stuff that you know that you have to pay, and then whatever's left over, that money is typically used to do whatever you want to do with it. That's a way that a lot of people live. As we all know, Americans, a lot of us live paycheck to paycheck. And another article that I read, I'm not sure the percentage, it was very high, but it basically said that most Americans couldn't even come up with $400 for an emergency. If $400 came up for an emergency, they could not do it. Now, the reality is, a lot of times across the board, in my opinion, is it's not actually the actual dollar amount that you're making. Even though I know it's a lot of people out there making very low wages and barely surviving. I come from that era. I understand that. But a lot of people, whether you make, $50,000 a year or $1 million a year, I've known where people, depending on what you do with your money, is what matters. So it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep, how much money you allow to invest, and then how much money you allow that to continue to help you out. But credit is one of those ways. It's what helped me with regards to obviously not living paycheck to paycheck, leveraging that credit with regards to building more wealth for me and my family. And that's one of the reasons why I started this channel. But you must figure out your finances. Know what's coming in, how much money, the full dollar amount that's coming in, and how much is going out. A lot of times when you have a partner, it makes it a lot easier versus a lot of you guys who are out there who are single and raising your kids on your own, or whatever the circumstance is with regards to that. But you gotta figure out your finances. Figure out how much is coming in and how much is going out, right? And once you figure out your finances, the next thing that I recommend everybody do, so you write down all your finances. The next thing you do is you look at your necessities versus your luxuries. Necessities is stuff that you have to pay. Luxuries is stuff that you can live without. Make a list of everything that you have that's necessity that you have to pay, everything that you have on your list that is a luxury. Then ultimately you want to eliminate the luxuries, right? And then with the necessities, try and tighten it down as much as possible across the board with regards to that. Now, ultimately, once you've done that, you have what we call a budget with regards to your finances. And once you have that budget and you actually know how much is coming in, how much is going out, you'll be surprised how many consumers that I get when I ask them these types of questions, they have no idea. They know how much money they probably make, and sometimes not even to the T, all the way down to the cent, and they know how much money their bills are, but a lot of times they're paying for a bunch of luxuries that they don't necessarily need. And by eliminating that and understanding those numbers, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. That'll make your life so much more easier. So then that way you'll have an idea of how much money you have to invest, right? And so once you've done those things and you got a figure left over of how much money that you have, then you can look at how you want to invest, how do you want to invest in yourself. Ultimately, paying down credit cards and getting rid of derogatory accounts off of your credit report are the things that I'm pretty sure that's on your mind. And so now you know you have a certain amount of money to do so. Now, one of the things I always tell people is it's a lot easier, believe it or not, to make an extra $10,000 than it is to save $10,000, right? Ultimately, if you can make an extra $10,000 and save $10,000, that's great. But for the most part, I always tell people it's a lot easier to make an extra $10,000 than trying to save $10,000. But nevertheless, when you get that money and you have that certain amount down, then there are two options for you. You could either hire a professional, and typically most professionals just out there, you're going to pay anywhere from $100 to $200 a month with regards to them helping you out with your credit. That's just across the line. And if you have that budget, and depending on how many hours you're working and what's going on, that's an option for you. Another option you can do is a DIY credit repair packet. There are a lot of options out there for you with regards to getting that type of situation with regards to that, but typically those will be a lot cheaper. It's a one-time fee that you will pay with regards to getting that, and then if you can get these letters and get some understanding on what to do with regards to disputing inaccuracies on your credit report and so forth, then you're able to do so. But by breaking down your number and understanding your budget and seeing what you're left over with actually gives you a chance to figure out what you can allocate to pay down debt and what you can allocate to actually hire someone or either get a DIY credit repair packet. I offer both of those options for every single person. Sign up for a 30-minute free consultation, and then I can see what's the best way to help you out with regards to that. And understand, sometimes I may see what's going on with your credit report and don't recommend neither one of those things and give you something else to do with regards to helping you out with regards to that. That is my key. That's one of the things that I enjoy doing, but obviously I have a family to feed. I have bills to pay just like every single other person. And so that's why I try and make both of my credit repair as well as a credit repair packet affordable for you. But budgeting, very, very key. Figure out how much money you have left over. Once you get rid of some of those luxuries, you'll realize you have a bigger nest egg. Pay down debt, hire, or do a DIY credit repair packet. But that gives you those options, and you have that with regards to that. The second thing that I recommend that you do is that you get a copy of your credit report, right? Whether you're going to pay for credit monitoring, if you go through, typically if you're going to hire someone to help you with your credit, you're going to have to pay for credit monitoring, and that could be anywhere from $20 to $30, depending on what credit monitoring service you go with. Or if you're doing it on your own, you can always get a copy through Experian. You can get your Experian credit report for free. And then I always recommend going through Credit Karma. Yes, I know it's a Vantage score, but it'll give you what's actually on your credit report. And you'll get Equifax and TransUnion for free through them. And then you can see what's on your credit report. I get so many clients that come to me, and when I'm going through the consultation, I'm asking, okay, what's positive on your credit report? What's negative? And a lot of times they don't know. Outside, on the negative side point, outside of stuff that's come in the mail from a debt collection agency or late payments from the creditor, that's all that they know. But you have to understand what's actually on your credit report. I think it's very vital that you look at that, you monitor that. Today's day and age, that is your report card for school. understanding what's on your credit report, understanding what's positive, what's negative, understanding what represents that FICO score. And when you apply or get that, a lot of that information is absolutely for free. Just like on YouTube, you can look on YouTube and find out what's on your credit report or what's important that's reported on your credit report and what's not. But it's important that you get a copy of your credit report and you have an idea of what's on your credit, because once you got that budget, you figured out how much it is, then you can sort of kind of figure out, okay, what you need to do in order to improve your credit score. And the last thing that I recommend that you do, now that you have your budget, now you have a copy of your credit report, is figuring out a plan, right? What's going to be the best plan for you? Every single person's situation is different. Yes, as a general rule of thumb, there are some people who have some certain things that are the same, but every single person's credit report, everything that's on your FICO score, everything that's going on with your credit report typically is different depending on who you are and what you are. But once you've figured out those two things, now it's time to figure out whether you're going to hire, if you can afford it, because you budgeted, so you know if you can hire a credit repair company. Obviously, 30-minute consultation down below. I can help you out with that. Or if you're going to be able to afford to pay for, a DIY packet. You have a little more time. You have a little more understanding with regards to this. I have a plethora of videos on this that can help you out with regards to DIY, doing it on your own, and some of the questions that you may have with regards to that. And then you pay. It's a one-time fee typically for a DIY packet. It gives you all of the letters, and if you understand that, you can do it on your own. But that is where the course of plan comes. And then obviously, outside of stuff, there are those of you who are out there who may not have accounts that are in the negative status or whatever the circumstance is. You may just have a bunch of debt that you have to pay off, but by doing steps 1 and 2, it'll give you more of a clear understanding of a better path with regards to figuring out how much money you have to pay down this debt. Once you pay down that credit card debt that you have, understand, use your credit cards like debit cards, so that way you're only spending what you have in the bank and you don't get yourself in that same predicament again. Now, you deserve to be approved for the credit you want and need. Allow us to help you out with that. Now, if you have any questions, put your questions down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. And as I always state, you be great.